Hello and good morning to everyone, or good evening depending on what time zone you are in. We are Heflatv and we are proud to actually present to you excellent Moscow Cup. It is the loser bracket semi-final of sorts with Osliki Gaming against Power Rangers. First day, Osliki Gaming had to face Empire. They actually gave Empire a run for their money. Well, still losing 2-1, but a couple of pretty nice games against them. Whereas Power Rangers, they just got destroyed 2-0 by Virtus Pro. So they have to face each other now in this losers bracket to try and go get some more money, get to the first, maybe second spot. My name is of course Coucher, and with me today is Mito once again. And what do you actually think of this upcoming game? Unless you are muted on Skype, of course.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, this is very interesting looking at this game because I know a lot more about Power Rangers. I've casted some of the games in ESPL, and I suppose there's just generally a bit more well known. So they've had a pretty successful year this year. They've won 2 tournaments, the Yar White Festival as well as the ESPL Season 1. So I guess I have to favor Power Rangers a little bit more.
Yeah, they definitely are the favorites coming into this match at least. I mean, Osliki, they're kind of new as far as just being in the scene goes. They do play pretty damn well together, to be honest. But of course, Power Rangers, I mean, they just have, of course, Scandal, probably the most known player from them. Just a star Russian player overall.
Yeah, he was a stand-in for them for quite some time before. Like, yeah, I didn't like. You had to see it coming. He's been standing in for them for so long, and now eventually he becomes one of the formal members, I suppose. And they are taking their time with these first 2 picks.
Yeah, well, I mean, Centaur War Runner is in the pool. There's no Mirana though, but, well, Ember Spirit, well, Batrider, how the hell could I forget that one? I mean, Lycan is there as well, but on the Radiant side, the Lycan not as strong, but the Batrider definitely one of the strongest initiators, and his initiation will be good in every stage of the game, even in late game. If you can just pick off one hero straight off the bat and make it a 5 versus 4, that's definitely worth it.
It's just crazy how this hero's received nerfs after nerfs in every single patch, and yet he's still first pick material. It's ridiculous. But ooh, once again, we're gonna have Tree Unprotected. That hero has really surged in terms of popularity as of late. I mean, since the previous TI qualifiers, Goblak and DD, they used it a lot, but it did receive a lot of nerf, and after that, it fell off for a little while. And I believe like a lot of teams continue experimenting with the hero, and EG had great success with the hero. Like it was every team when they played against EG, it was one of those heroes that would be like, yeah, let's just ban him straight up.
Yeah, the EG aggressive tri-lanes with the tree, and they were absolutely sick. They just dominated pretty much every single game with it when they got their hands on it. But now, I mean, Rubik as the second pick for Power Rangers. I mean, I guess stealing anything from a Dark Series good already. And even maybe stealing the Living Armor from the tree end. I mean, it doesn't give them anything that could actually try to nibble through the Living Armor itself. But I guess Patroller's Firefly will have to do for that already. But now, Ancient Apparition taken out by Osliki as well as the Centaur. And do you really think that the Power Rangers would have played the Centaur and the Batrider?
I'm not too sure. I don't think so, but I would have said that AA was a great ban because you really don't want to have the Rubik plus AA combination, and then you can just grab just about any carry, and that would be a very potent tri-lane. You're going to have the Rubik lift, you're going to have the chilling touch, and those right clicks are going to hurt immensely. And another reason why I would say they wouldn't have ever picked the Centaur is because Osliki, they already have one of the best counters to that hero, and that's a Doxia. And I guess what they should be afraid of is more of heroes that can do the follow-up, because you do have the initiation now, and that's what they should look towards.
Well, the initiation definitely is stronger for Power Rangers, for the time being at least, and well, they went for the Wraith King, a hero that can just soak up everything and just come back and shrug it all off with the Reincarnation. It's pretty decent against Darkseer. The stun is nice as well, just to lock him down for the 2 seconds, especially if the Darkseer goes offlane early. The surge actually lasts for 2.5 seconds on the first level, so a 2-second stun plus a 2-second slow on top of it definitely will help in trying to get those kills on the offlaner.
Yep, and I just want to bring up another interesting point. Treant Protector, traditionally people just max the living armor, but now that and then like maxing the leech seed and then eventually getting the nature's guys. But it seems teams have started to experiment a little bit more. If those for those of you who just watched Arrow Gaming versus MVP in the TI qualifiers, if you notice, he actually left the leech seed at level 2 and started maxing out the nature's guys much earlier. And it did help them catch out a lot of the heroes like Tinker. They found him so many times with the Nature's Guys, and I would like to see teams abuse Nature's Guys a lot more. Just having that permanent invisibility, walking all around the map, it's like having a permanent Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah, it also gives you extra movement speed, so something on top of the Moonlight Shadow already, and it definitely is something that teams probably won't even know to just be scared of that. Probably won't just place the sentries all around only for a tree and protector. And well, Gyrocopter pick for Power Rangers, it's really good for just getting rid of the living armor stacks with the rocket barrage, of course. Some nice burst damage, cooldown. And does that mean that the Wraith King is gonna be a support one, or are they gonna play Wraith King mid in some setup? Or
I believe it's going to be a Wraith King support. This is somewhat reminiscent of yesterday's game from Team Empire. They had a core as Gyrocopter and it had a Wraith King support. And in that tri-lane, we saw, I mean, instead of a Rubik, they had a Leshrac, but I would say it's still a very potent tri-lane. Oh, and now we're going to have the OD. Osliki, their lineup is basically identical to what DD Gaming had in the TI qualifiers last year. If you remember, it's always the Bane Treant combo with a Obsidian or a Viper mid, and then having a hero like Doxia. So you're gonna have very strong laning phase, and you're gonna have a lot of ultis that go through BKB. And the only thing I'm worried about is, say, if they do lose their laning phase, it's gonna be much harder to play from there on.
yeah, the OD doesn't really want to play the catch-up game. I mean, he can to some extent if he actually goes for the faster hand of Midas to begin with. And at the moment, I mean, Power Rangers, as far as their mid laners go, I'm guessing Batrider won't be the mid laner, so they have to choose from the Puck, maybe the Storm Spirit, at least as far as conventional mid laners go. But do you think that they could actually run a mid laner that would be really strong against the OD, maybe even something like a Lone Druid?
I think Razor's not bad as well in this scenario.
But
Oh,
yeah.
and Razor instantly got banned out. I would say Kunkka. Kunkka is another great one. The hero has received buffs. Sure, it's still gonna lose to OD, but if we look at the lineups, you're gonna oh, okay, so here's a counter that Na'Vi has been using towards the OD. But let me just quickly polish up on the point. Because Gyrocopter is going to be the safe lane carry, and for Osliki, they're going to have Doxy in the off lane. Gyrocopter, as a hero itself, is capable of zoning the Doxia, and not even zoning, he can potentially kill the Doxia in a one-on-one matchup, which frees up the space for Rubik and Wraith King to rotate, to gank mid on the Outward Devourer. And with the Templar Assassin mid, sure, Templar Assassin, as long as you have the mana pool for like Refraction, you're going to be pretty okay against OD, but with the two supports rotating in, I believe Chomi is going to be in a little bit of trouble if the dual rotation comes his way.
Yeah, the rotations definitely are something the Power Rangers should be looking forward to. Shutting down the OD, it's always pretty nice. I mean, shutting down any mid laner, so both teams can go for them. And well, the Ember Spirit as the last pick. Do you actually like the Ember Spirit safe lane, or do you feel it is a bit weak, maybe in terms of getting levels? Or
I actually think Ember is still a very well-rounded hero. I'm not too sure why they want to run it. I mean, I'm not too sure why pro teams aren't running it as much. Sure, it got nerfed, but its laning is still strong against many of the melee mid-solo heroes. And as a carry, it's not as good, I would say, because you lose a lot of the early game potential, and because you don't get the fast levels. But ultimately, Ember Spirit, if he does farm up, he is a force to be reckoned with in the late game, especially when they have frontline tankers. They have the Treant Protector, they have the Doxia in front. So he's going to be very, very happy just dealing out the damage from a distance.
that's definitely something that does help them out. But I guess we should go over the lineups fast. I'll start with Power Rangers on the Radiant side. Moon will be playing the carry Gyrocopter for them, leaving J4 of course to play the support Rubik, with the last support being FNG on the Wraith King, leaving Scandal to of course play their mid lane on the Temper Assassin this time around, and Cheshire Cat will head offlane on the Batrider.
Yep, and on a Dire team, we're gonna have Bigum playing as a support tree and protector. We're gonna have Obi-Wan Banana, I suppose, gonna be on the support Bane Elemental. And at top, we're gonna have Ember Spirit played by Inquisitor. Down at mid, we're gonna have Chomi gonna be going as the mid solo of Outworld Devourer. And finally, we have Judo playing as the offlane Doxia.
I
Yeah,
actually
so-
think it's Obi-Wan Banan.
Oh, Obi-Wan Banan, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
But
I think
it's
so at
always
least.
a treat. I mean, Scandal, he's got one of the best Templar assassins in the world, and I always love watching it. And some interesting note is, like, as a Doxia in offlane, right? Usually you should check the rune. This is a beautiful pause. I have a little time to talk about it. You should start the game by checking the rune, because when you check the rune and you run directly back, the creep wave will only be at the tier 2 tower, and you have more than enough time to block. And I suppose if he gets a good rune, right, he
They're
can
going on
potentially
Judo already.
even pull the creep.
Telekinesis, Rocket Barrage, nice blocking by the Illusions as well. The Surge, it's not even on him yet. He just went for the Ion Shell. And well, FNG up to a good start. Already got his boots of speed, I guess. And that's pretty good for the Wraith King. He can actually make some more ganks happen now towards the mid lane, maybe.
Yeah, but you see, Scano, he's struggling because the Bane Elemental, he's been sitting at mid and using the Enfeeble constantly, as well as stacking up for whoever's going to be taking the stack. So I like this. And are we going to see the early rotations that we were talking about earlier?
Well, it sure looks like it at the moment. FNG, he's doing at least something. Maybe just trying to make sure whether there are wards for Osliki there or not. Although there's no way for him to actually know unless he goes any farther, which he's doing at the moment. Are they waiting out the Astral Imprisonment though? Because if OD has it off cooldown, he can easily dodge the Rayfire Blast.
Yeah. Not only that, if he uses an Astral, that's, let's see, 6 intelligence. And each intelligence removes 13 points of mana. Wraith King is not going to have anything if he gets Astraled.
Oh god, well, and neither does Scandal at the moment. He does have his bottle now at least, so he'll be fine. But like you mentioned as well, the Bane just being a major nuisance to Scandal, and I guess that's one way of actually trying to shut him down, or at least to make sure that OD gets the early farm, and with the farm try to maybe dominate or have a better time in the lane. And of course those stacks as well, creating a sort of comeback mechanic now for Judo on the Darkseer, which he's taking advantage of as well. Already took care of the big camp. He's level 3 all of a sudden, so even though he gave up first blood this Darkseer, he should be able to catch up still.
Yep, and if we look at the supports on Power Rangers, they're making the perfect play. So one support goes and pull the camp, and actually you can do this by yourself. You do it at the start of the minute, and about like 30-second, 40-second, once you do the pull through, you can easily stack up the big camp and then check the rune. And that's exactly what they did. And securing the rune for Scandal is essential in this early game phase.
Well, I mean, that's exactly the kind of play we actually expect from them. They are at the LAN finals after all. And actually, they're playing for around 20,000 US dollars at the moment. Maybe a bit more with the ticket sales. I'm not too sure how much actually added up from that. But it began at $20,000, so I mean, that's a lot of money on the line for them. And they can play on their home turf more or less as well, being in Moscow, so a lot on the line there, and you have to go for just all the small plays that in the end will make it a big play as far as the game goes.
Yeah, at this point, you see, this is some of the weaknesses of their lineup from Osliki. You look at it, Judo, he rotates in, but he barely defends the tower. I mean, the tower is down to less than half HP, so I mean, with the next creep wave, as soon as like Moon, he uses Rocket Barrage and just clear the creep wave, they can just keep pushing.
Yeah, well, looks like J4, he wants to do the single pull, maybe do the double. Oh no, he's not even going for it. I really thought that they might go for the double creep wave, but I guess since Darkseer actually came back, they don't want to give him any XP anymore.
They're just going for stacks after stacks. Oh man, I can already see how fat this Gyrocopter is gonna become.
I would like to see somebody stacking up the Ancients as well, though. Definitely would help them, and actually, Look, talking of stacks, Cheshire found a lovely double stack on the Batrider in the enemy jungle, and he's just gonna farm it up with the Firefly. The Pain, maybe we'll get the one right click. Nope, can't even get that.
Oh man, that is just a lot of gold for the Batrider. Right now, they don't need to stack up the Ancient just yet. They needed to stack up for the Batrider so he can get an extremely fast Blink Dagger. Because there's no point like stacking up for the Gyrocopter, the Ancient Camps at the very least, if he doesn't have that lifesteal. He needs a minimum of lifesteal to take it. And it's just with such low efficiency if he goes for it early. Like he has to wait there, wait for the flat cannon cooldown before going at it again. So I think they can hold off the stack a little bit longer for him to get some levels and just perhaps a little bit more damage.
Do you think he's actually gonna go for a Helm of Dominator to maybe help with the stacking? Just dominate a creep and send that to do his dirty work?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's the way he should do it. And Cheshire Cat is just gonna napalm up these big camps, and too bad there's Mud Golems once again. Mud Golems really ruin games for a lot of people, don't they?
Yeah, they certainly do. It's just so annoying. They're easy to kill if you're like a melee hero that just has to right click them down, because they don't actually do as much damage to you in return. But of course, when you're just relying on magic, you can't do anything. But oh, Bignam, he has the Nature Skies early on, like you talked about in the draft. Will he get it now? Oh, they're going at Judo. He's in big trouble. Telekinesis up as well. Do they actually have enough damage? No. The Gyrocopter didn't follow up. They're searching them as well. There's the Brain Sap. Moon drops really low as Ember Spirit even rotated in. One going down, and they get the second as well. And now Moon, I think he's gonna go down as well. He's in huge heaps of trouble. The Brain Sap about to cool down, and well, Osliki. The rotations, I guess they were worth it. They rotated in 4 heroes, but killing off 3 the entire tri-lane of Power Rangers. That's a good start.
It definitely is, and that Nature's Guys just their work right there. They got the kill on the Wraith King, and I bet he wasn't expecting to see a Treant there.
Yeah, and they did it really nicely so that they actually boxed out Moon as well. I mean, J4 as well as FNG, they tried to go for the Darkshare, but since Gyrocopter couldn't really follow up, there wasn't enough damage to kill off with the Darkshare. So that's where it all started, and of course Gyrocopter, he got double manned as well. So really nice rotations by Osliki, just making the best of it. And I guess the tower, did it actually get denied as well? Yeah, the tower also got denied by the Treant, so I mean, just goddamn those plays.
Yeah, it does suck for Power Rangers, but nonetheless, things are looking pretty okay from both sides, I suppose. The last hits are still coming in. Sure, the scoreboard doesn't look all that pretty. I mean, we only have 4 kills in 7 minutes in a CIS game, but I think mid-game is going to be extremely action-packed.
Yeah, I think the biggest item pickup for Power Rangers is gonna have to be the Blink Dagger. It's 600 gold away for Cheshire Cat on the Batrider, so once he actually gets that, I'm expecting the game to open up a little bit.
Oh, this is such a smart maneuver from Judo. Just go in and check the jungle and start taking all the stacks.
Well, he actually doesn't get stunned up because of the fog. Oh, nighttime vision for the win.
FNG was patient, but in the end, the fog just totally screwed him over.
At least they do get one ward out of it. They placed down the sentry. I mean, I don't even know what indicated that they know. I guess they thought the Darkshare knew what's going on there. That he actually was ballsy enough to go that deep into the enemy jungle. So a nice sentry ward coming out. 50 extra gold for whichever support actually got the last hit for it. But at the moment, well, look at the items. Nothing big coming out yet. It's only 8 minutes in after all. The thing is that Chomi looks like he's going for the Hand of Midas on the OD, and I guess it's a pretty standard item build for him now.
Oh, Judo getting chased down, getting lifted, getting bursted.
Well, Scandal finally joining in as well, and the Meld, it's level 2, so a decent amount of burst of course, and level 3 Rayfire Blast, it actually does a pretty nice amount of damage as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised Scandal still is playing the old school way of the Templar Assassin. He doesn't want the Hand of Midas, unlike Chomi. Chomi wants that Hand of Midas for sure. But Scandal says, nah, I'm just gonna make the early rotations, I suppose.
Yeah, it is kind of... He's going for a drums as well by the looks of it now, so... Just going for utility over greed, I guess. Although the Hand of Midas definitely does help out and help him transition a little bit better. Because otherwise, I mean, the Hand of Midas is a pretty nice item overall. If you win the early mid game with the Hand of Midas, it's even better for you. But if you fall behind, then the Midas helps to catch up a little bit.
So once again, Cheshire Cat, he's just gonna be taking these huge stacks, and wow, he has more than enough money for a Blink Dagger as well as TP, and if he does want to, he can also buy up a smoke. But okay, yeah, so he does.
Well, those were a lot of stacks. You have to credit Power Rangers really for making sure that the stacks happen constantly and that they are farmed up. I mean, they don't want to delay the Blink Dagger anymore. I mean, 9.5 minutes in, he's gonna get it around 10 minutes if he actually reaches pace. So it's not the fastest Blink Dagger by any means, but it's still pretty nicely timed, and if Osliki have no idea that this is going on, they could even actually go for the OD pickup and stop him from farming even if a little bit.
Osliki should be prepared for this, so 10-minute mark is around roughly the time that most Bat Riders will have the Blink Dagger. And this first blink is essential to securing a kill and perhaps securing a lead. So Osliki, they should know to play defensively, and they should have the TP ready on the supports.
There's a 4-man rotation that want to show me. Oh god. There's the slow, there's the lasso as well. They have the melt hit by Scandal as well. Sorry guy, but nothing you can do against 4 heroes.
Yeah, Osliki just says, yeah, there's nothing we can do for you, and I guess... Wow, is this gonna be a free tower as well as a free mid kill? So the TPs are all coming in from...
Will the Inquisitor be enough though? The rotations are coming in. Will there be a sneaky nature, guys? There's another glyph. There's a stun onto Inquisitor. Do they have the follow-up stuns? Doesn't look like it's Scandal. Out of mana as well. Only 1 mana for the melt hit. Oh god, FNG. He goes down. There's the wall as well. But he had the reincarnation. He was level 6 or everybody slowed down. But Power Rangers, they just don't want to dive the tower. Or do they? They want to get the tower kill for sure. And FNG, he's just... Oh, call down Moon. Joins the fight. Hits on 3 damn heroes. They're all slowed down. Sanity's Eclipse as well. It's still not enough. Inquisitor stunned up. Oh, Fire Remnant away at the nick of time. But J4 was there on the Rubik anyway to get the kill. Oh god, I really thought he's gonna escape, but Fire Remnant, I guess it wasn't that far away.
No, he ended on the wrong remnant. Like if he basically he clicked the one that was over here in the trees, but then since Firefly was already over the trees, he ended up being trapped. He couldn't get away. But if he chose the remnant at top right, then he would just go back to his lane and continue farming. And this Ember Spirit build, it's interesting because very few people go for this build these days. Getting 3 level into the Searing Chains and then maxing out Sleight of Fist. Ever since the nerf, the majority of the builds have been maxing out the Flame Guard. So at level 5 you have 1, 3, and then eventually getting 2 levels or 3 levels into Searing Chains, and then continue maxing your Sleight of Fist. But his build, to me, this is more of a... I want to be able to constantly slash build, but the damage is just lackluster ever since the nerf. And sure, Power Rangers, they don't rely on that much magical damage, but I would say the Flame Guard would have helped them a lot more.
Well, that's definitely possible. I mean, Flame Guard, it's more sustained damage as well, and he actually should be able to stay in the fights decently enough with the Living Armor helping him out there. So the Flame Guard definitely might be worth it. I mean, I used to like the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains build a lot more, especially if they were mid lane, because it was just so much more damage potential. But I guess, like you said, after the nerfs, it's just not as valuable anymore.
Yeah, but there is a downside to it though. TA relies mainly on physical damage, and then you have Gyrocopter that can pretty much just instantly remove your Flame Guard with the Rocket Barrage. So, I don't know. Do you think, say, a different carry would have been better for this game? Because this feels like... You look at Osliki, right? Right now, they don't have any burst. And that's always been one of the worries for their lineup since the beginning. They need items before they can dish out tons of damage output. The only one that does anything significant would be, say, Obi-Wan Banan, with just the Fiend Script as well as the Brain Sap.
Well, we are yet to see a Fiend Script, but then again, he just hit level 6, and actually, looking at the levels overall, it's pretty even across the board, so nobody has crazy high levels. Even the OD with the Hand of Midas, then again, it hasn't been running for so long. But as far as their teamfight goes, like you said, they do need the items to actually start dishing out the damage. Starkster definitely needs more levels for the vacuum to actually be maxed out, because level 1 vacuum, it doesn't pretty much do anything for them. He's working on his mech though, so once they get the mech, that will definitely boost their team fight a little bit, or at least their survivability. And well,
But
I mean,
all the damage right now is pretty much damage over time from, say, the Doxia Iron Shell, Inquisitor just spamming out those Sleight of Fists. Oh, and another thing about Flame Guard is it removes the refraction pretty nicely. So it's, to me, it's quite questionable about like completely negating Flame Guard until a much later stage of the game.
well, does the Ember Spirit actually want to man fight a mid lane Templar though?
No. But as in, like, if they're ever in the scenario of trying to chase down the Templar, he can just walk right next to him with the Flame Guard. Sure, if you have the Sleight of Fist and the Searing Chains combo, you can keep locking him down, but you still need some ways to proc those refraction charges. And if you really do need to chase, you can always use the Fire Remnants to chase him down.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it would be kind of scary, to be honest, with the Flame Guard and an Ion Shell on top. The Ember Spirit, just the output, damage output around him, it would be pretty damn sick. Well, I guess we shall never know how well it would have worked out, because he's still yet to put a single point in Flame Guard. And do you actually think he's gonna max out Searing Chains first to get the 3-second disable and then start going for the Flame Guard, or after the fight does he think like he needs a bit more survivability and goes for Flame Guard straight up?
I don't know. It feels like his build is already fixed. You might as well just max the Searing Chains, since it combos with the Sleight of Fist so well. And just having those extra damage, I mean, Searing Chains, it is a pretty darn good nuke. 300 damage and lasts for 3 seconds. And its cooldown is only 8 seconds when it's max. And I suppose it just might as well, since you're already here.
Well, I guess it would actually hurt him if he switched around the order now a bit, but so far, actually, after the mid lane fight, both teams have gone to just passive farming, or at least back to it. And, well, who do you think it actually favors in the late
It
game?
has to favor Power Rangers. For now. This mid game. Because they have stacks and they have way more map control. They've down how many tier 1s already? They've down 2 tier 1s, haven't lost a single tower. Yeah, they just haven't lost a single tower. And you're playing against a
Chomi
protector.
gets lassoed up. Scandalous, there's a refraction meld hit. He can't even survive the lasso. Oh, actually he barely does. And now with the rotations coming in, they have to back off. Cheshire Cat gets Searing Chains as well. But wow, well, Flame Firefly, too strong. Cheshire gets the kill. Cheshire Cat. Maybe it was the Flame Break, but I think it was the Firefly finishing him up.
Yeah, and the scary thing about Power Rangers lineup right now is any 2 heroes in their lineup can combo and get a solo kill. That's how strong it is, their solo picking potentials. But not on top of that, they also have a very, very strong team fight lineup. And it's just gonna be hard for Osliki to deal with.
At the moment, they are trying to do something. Bignum, his nature sky's up. He wants to play sneaky. The homing missile is actually chasing Inquisitor. But Bignum, a big overgrowth might be in the making, but the tower just goes down. Bignum goes in, only catches Scandal. He has the refraction as well. There's the cooldown. Fiend's grip onto Scandal. They finally get it. There's the telekinesis to stop it, and Bignum goes down. Can they get more kills? Moon, he's healthy as hell. And Shomi stunned up by the Rayfire Blast. There's the Sanitas Eclipse. But it's just not enough for them. Power Rangers too far ahead, and they keep on chasing Rayfire Blast. Doesn't get dodged by the Sleight of Fist. It tried its best, but it's just gonna go down. The meld hit, wow, Scandal. So much damage with the maxed out meld.
Oh dear god. That fight was a slaughter. I don't think there's any other ways to put it. They just don't have the damage output to contest Power Rangers right now. They should have gone for split pushing of their own. Perhaps try to chip away some damage at the mid tower or the bottom tower. I mean, one of the ways that indicate just how bad this game is OSG, Osliki, they're playing with a Trian Protector. And when you're losing all your towers so freaking fast with a Trian Protector, there's definitely something wrong.
Yeah, it's usually the case with Dream Protector. If you can keep your tier 1 towers alive for like 10 to 15 minutes, they almost will never fall after that. Because by the time your enemy just hasn't gotten the cold whereas you have, at the moment it's just the complete opposite. Osliki, they've yet to take a tower off of Power Rangers, whereas Power Rangers, they've taken 3, and well, Inquisitor actually, he might be in trouble. The TP is coming in by FNG as well. Oh, they have the lasso, they start, oh! Really nice reactions, just immediate Remnant away.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the map control right now, Osliki, they're basically down to their tier 2 like this. And this is just not good at all. I mean, you've got the Templar Assassin with so many traps, you've got huge amount of bursts coming out of Scandal, and then you have Cheshire Cat on the Batrider. That's mental pressure right there. You never know when the Batrider is going to hit you. And when he does, are you going to be able to get away? Like Inquisitor, sure, he got away, but at the same time, he couldn't get any farm because he was forced to run. And it's scary having to deal with such an aggressive lineup coming out of Power Rangers. And it's not like they lack the late game to contest either.
Do you actually think that Osliki made a bit of a mistake in the early draft, not banning out the Batrider or not picking it up themselves as the first pick?
I believe that was okay, but they don't have any countermeasures to Batrider. Say, why not grab a Disruptor or a Shadow Demon? Or there are a lot of heroes that can deal with the Batrider, but they just don't have any of them. If you want to talk about it, then sure, we have the Bane Sleep, we have the Treant Overgrowth, but if you look at it, Treant, he's not providing much damage in the team fight, other than just trying to lock heroes down and just trying to keep people alive. But what's the point of having that living armor if it just instantly gets melted with the Rocket Barrage as well as the Firefly? So it just feels like they did get outdrafted somewhat, but it's not like they're completely out of the picture. All they need to do is create space and find farm. But the support duo they have just aren't very good at picking off the Power Ranger heroes. Let's say you name 2 heroes in that lineup, who can they potentially kill with just 2-man ganks? And I don't think there's a lot. Wraith King, you try to go on him, he's gonna have 2 lives. Templar Assassin, he's already farmed, he has refraction charges, he's not afraid of you.
Well, Scandal is definitely not afraid of anybody, but they should be, because Pignum, he's right on them. With the Nature Skies, they know exactly where they are now. Osliki, the rotations are coming in as well. This should be easy 2 kills for them. They start up, there's the Overgrowth as well, the 4-step by Cheshire Cat, not enough. Wall, Fiend Script, Scandal. This time, he's definitely going down.
But that's a 4-man gank.
Well, make it a 5 because Inquisitor was trying to come in as well.
It's still good for them. Shutting down Scandal for 30 seconds guarantees them more room to breathe, more room to farm. And that's pretty good in their cause. They just need to constantly do this though. They need to constantly find the solo kills or the 2-man kills. I'm so happy Treant with the Nature Skies is doing work.
Yeah, he went for it really early on. By level 4 he had at least 1 point in it. Well, still has 1, but I mean, really, it does work out for them. But it won't be for long, because HM early on actually was bought out by J4. It's on Cheshire Cat. Yeah, it's on the Batrider now. So no Nature Skies shenanigans anymore. And if Osliki actually don't know that the HM is up on him, I think this Treant might die once completely randomly because he just doesn't know the HM exists.
Mm-hmm. And this is a game that OD really needs to think about his item choice. Should he go straight for a Sheepstick or should he go for a BKB? If he goes for the BKB, he's going to live a little longer, but he's still not going to have the damage to deal in team fights. And if he goes for the Sheepstick, he can get shut down pretty easily as well. So there is a lot of dilemmas that they have to face right now.
They have to face yet another now, because there's AGs on Templar Assassin. Scandal, I mean, sure, they killed him off once or managed to do so with a 4 to 5-man rotation. But now they have to do it twice, and Scandal, it's not going for a BKB, at least not at the moment, or doesn't look like it. Mundo, he has his BKB finished on the Gyro. So Fiend Script, it's, well, I guess the Overgrowth as well, but more or less the Fiend Script is the only one to stop Gyro. And actually it's the same for the Templar Assassin, because Templar Assassin just deals so much damage. So even if they lock down one, the other will still be able to roam freely and just kill off everybody.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, so once again, Bignum, he's gonna be walking around as an invisible tree. Let's see if he can do some work this time around.
Oh, there's the stun onto Chudo. Telekinesis as well with the lasso. They stagger them a little bit, but it doesn't matter. They get the kill nevertheless. And FNG, he's really low. 1 right click by Chomi, the Arcane Orb. Well, Reincarnation popped with no slows, and Moon. Wow, he took so much damage in the meantime. They just have to back off.
Oh man, that was a full Fiend Script plus Tree Ants, Leech Seed, and whatnot, and they just couldn't take that moon. And as soon as he came back, he's like, yeah, I don't even need to use my BKB. I can just man mode you, both of you guys. The lack of burst is really hurting OSG right now.
Oh, he might be in trouble now. Just imprisonment the leech. Nice 4-step by Cheshire. Flame break as well, and Big Ram in return. Telekinesis up J4. Sanitas Eclipse. He might go down. One more right click overgrowth to keep them in place. Show me he's dealing out the damage, but Moon with the BKB goes to town. Big Ram is dead. Show me going down as well. Double kill for Moon, and now Obi-Wan Banan. He's slowed by the sticky napalm, but they can't really follow up for the timing. They're a little bit too low on mana. But still, one support for 2 heroes, and now they want to go again. There's the wall, Vacuum Moon. No BKB for him, actually goes down. Just
that was
overstaying
success.
their welcome.
Yeah, and that just gave them a lot of gold. You look at Inquisitor, he's about halfway, more than halfway in fact, to his first Battle Fury. The great thing about OSG's lineup is the high ground defense is going to be insane. How do you cross an Ember Spirit plus a Darkseer? It's going to be really rough if Power Rangers tries to break base anytime soon without enough substantial amount of lead.
Well, I guess the Batronator does help out a little bit in that regard. Just blink in, get one hero completely out of position. Unless, of course, Osliki are really fast in reactions with the Overgrowth or the Fiend Script.
Yeah, there's still the Astro Imprisonment, but somehow I have a feeling OD is the one that's going to get caught most of the time. So that's not going to be very reliable.
Yeah, and actually the OD, he's pretty squishy as well, sitting at below 1000. Well, with the threads and strength, it's 1.1k, so I mean, not that bad. But with the items coming out from Power Rangers and the damage, it's gonna be pretty sick. And well, Scandal still has the Aegis as well. It will be reclaimed in 3 minutes time. I guess they're going for a timing push again, or at least try to get either the top or mid tier 2 within the duration of the Aegis.
Yep, and soon the Tree Ants Overgrowth is going to just be completely useless. So Scandal, he already has a Manta Style. Moon, he's not too far away from his own as well. And with BKB Manta Style up on the Gyrocopter, this Tree Ant is going to be rendered useless, essentially.
Oh, got just a farm on the cores of Power Rangers. They're pretty scary, especially on Moon. Like you said, already BKB and Manta Style about to get finished up, and they smoke up as well now. They don't want to wait for Osliki to come for them or make a mistake. They're just gonna force them to make a mistake instead. Although Scandal, they're showing him on the map at least. And do you actually think they're going on the right lane? Are they just gonna go with the Aegis as the best possible solution for them for the high ground push?
Wow, they're gonna find a pick-off.
Oh yeah, Chudo lassoed up. They have the follow-up stance with the telekinesis. There's the homing missile as well. The mech comes out, but of course it won't save him against 5 heroes just doing damage. And FNG actually has a blink dagger of his own now on the Wraith King. So that's some...
Wow.
Oh, without the Darkseer. Darkseer has the buyback, and I think he actually might have to use it as well now.
He definitely has to if they want to defend this tower. Otherwise, there's no way. It's going down for sure. Even with the Ember Spirit, just using the Sleight of Fist combo.
Oh, this is scary for them. Although the Living Armor does help out quite a bit. But it's out now, and tower down to half HP. They have to go in, and they have to do it soon. Moon, there's Enfeeble up on him. It's only level 2 Enfeeble though, and oh, blink out by FNG. He was in no man's land for a time.
Oh, this is so smart from Chomi. Just going out to use the Astral. He knows he doesn't have the item, but with enough Astral, it does make up for it.
Well, he keeps on doing it. He actually has 3 stacks on him at the moment on Big Ram. He wanted to go sneaky once again, and Moon comes back. Living Armor, keeping the tower kind of healthy. It's down to quarter HP still. And it's a standoff game, and Darkseer actually didn't have to waste his buyback either, so it's not going too bad for Osliki so far.
Yeah, so successful defense so far, but Scandal knows his Aegis is going down.
Oh, FNG, he blinks in, they stun up Chomi. Oh, the melt hit as well. He can maybe escape. Oh, what an overgrowth cooldown onto 3 as well. They're still alive somehow. Cheshire actually gets taken out now. Bignam goes down as well. It's 2 for 3. Bignam buys back as well. Chomi does take a fall as J4 trying to man up. Actually stole the Fiend Script in the middle, and Bignam now, he bought back, but will he die again? They're chasing. Oh, Inquisitor just spins them down with the Searing Chains, and now Moon. He's the only survivor for them. Scandal had to back off a long time ago already. Or no, he's back in. He has the Aegis. It's got reclaimed in 3 seconds. Oh, he just dies before that. Will it be enough though, Scandal? Will they just tag team in? There's the slows, the stuns, and Scandal. Manta Styles out of it. He's alive, but not for long. No refraction. And successful base defense. The tier 3 stands. It will get healed up. by Big Nam's Treant. And they kill off 4 in return as well.
But they also used 3 buybacks. The funny thing is, Inquisitor, before he died in the fight, he had around 1500 gold. And after the buyback, he still has 1500 gold. So, not too bad for him. And a tier 3 still stands, and it's going to get healed up by the Treant Protector. So yeah, we just witnessed just how hard it is to go on the high ground of OSG. This is like gonna be the ultimate tower defense.
Oh, let's so on to Big Nam. Jessercat wants the solo kill, but it's not enough. There's the overgrowth as well. Big Nam a bit too tanky. And now, oh, 1v1 Banan. He doesn't have the Fiend's Grip, unfortunately. And Batroider, well, going ballsy, but I guess nothing lost except for the lasso cooldown.
Inquisitor, he is so close to that battlefield of his. Just needs a little bit more gold.
Will he get it though? I think so.
But have you really seen that Flame Guard? Every time I look at it, it's on cooldown, but it seems like it just disappears. Non-existent Flame Guard.
Well, I guess it serves its purpose then, if it disappears, because it does absorb 500 magic damage. I guess it mostly goes into the cooldown already. It's the level 3 cooldown. It completely negates the Flame Guard in itself. But well, what do you think are the next big items gonna be for Osliki? Judo has the Blink Dagger on Darkseer.
More Battle Furies on Inquisitor. I would say like 2 Battle Furies enough. Or if he thinks it's enough with 1, no jokes aside, he really can go for a double. I would say 2 Battle Furies more than enough. And if Darkseer gets a vacuum and then he uses the Sleight of Fist, that is gonna do tons of damage to Power Rangers. And Inquisitor, his items, once he has the first Battle Free, it's gonna skyrocket. You know those items are coming in fast. And this is where Power Rangers need to be more aware of this, and they need to capitalize on the advantage they have and try to force out more team fights. But they should never force the high ground, because this is way too difficult.
Well, speaking of advantages, I guess it's time to look at the graphs, and they tell the story of how far Power Rangers are ahead. 14k in gold, as well as XP. Was at 14, dropped down only a sliver, but well, 12, nearing 13k now still. And the advantage, it's pretty sizable. And looks like they want to farm up a few more items maybe. Well, the BKB on Jessercat definitely will help out, and that's actually 3 BKBs soon, as Scandal working on his as well. Just needs the recipe for it. And do you think they will actually wait for the BKB on Scandal and then go? Or do they feel like 2 BKBs are enough?
They should wait for the BKB on Scandal, because that could pretty much help them close the game. Just go BKB in, then suddenly you realize OSG, all the skills are like rely on magical damage. The vacuum wall, it's not gonna happen. All you can use is the overgrowth, but then they can manta out of it. And if there's any Fiend script, it will easily get cancelled. Rubik has a Force Staff. Wraith King has Blink Dagger. They can just, yeah, they've got all the items they need once that BKB comes online.
Well, it shouldn't take too long as well by the rate that Scandal is farming. He is 900 gold short only. So they actually maybe could just go for the tier 2 tower mid, or do you feel like that already is a bit too risky?
They definitely can. But they're still waiting for that BKB on Scandal, I suppose. They just want to give him the farm. And I suppose if you look at it, it seems like they're debating whether or not to go for it or just wait for Scandal to farm. And he's not too far.
Well, I think he will get his BKB definitely faster than any big items coming out by Osliki. Like Sheepstick and Show Me, it's pretty far away still.
There's a couple of things coming for them. So Moon has that Demon's Edge. And if you look at Wraith King, he is only about 200 gold away from his Flame Mail. So they want to wait for the next set of items to be completed before they make anything happen. This does provide a little bit of a breathing room for OSG, but you just look at the positioning. They have to play so defensively, because if all the heroes are missing on the map, you never know if it's a gank or if they're just farming.
Well, that actually, the vision overall on the entire map, neither team has too much of anything. Osliki, they have 2 observer wards, so they know at least something of what's going on, whereas Power Rangers, they're completely blind except the 2 sentry wards here. And well, they have the sentry, but Surge up and J4, Rubik, you don't want to split push alone, he's just gonna go down. nothing to commentate even. I think it's just gonna burst it. Fiend Script on him even. Wow. Okay.
Oh wow, that was a bit of an overkill. I think Fiend Script is something that they
Oh,
definitely
FNG, he
needed
gets
to
the
save
stun
up.
onto Bignum. They might catch up, the slow is there, but he's surged up. And the others just aren't fast enough anymore. But still, yeah. Fiend Script, I mean, on a Rubik. And that's an 80-second window now that Power Rangers can easily go for the tier 2 top.
Yep, but Inquisitor, look at his gold. It's flying. It's
Wow.
going up so freaking fast. Yeah, Battle Fury, man. Best farming items. 2014.
Well, he's getting the tower now as well, bottom lane, so that's even more gold going for them, and they have actually so much free gold on the map lying around with all the towers still yet to be taken. But
And something
mid
we didn't see.
lane, FNG goes in, he's another stun on Bignum, but he just blinks out after the stun. He's like, hey, I can stun you and blink away, I don't care.
And look at Chomi. Look at his money and look at his items.
What?
He's not too far from a sheep stick.
1 minute ago he was sitting on 700 gold.
The
What?
power of the Midas.
Man, Power Rangers, don't wait for the sheep stick on OD, oh god.
Let's see. When OD, yeah, he got the kill on the Rubik as well. That's why there's that additional go boost. And as well as Inquisitor taking a bottom tier 1. So things are looking pretty good for...
That's Blink
OSG
Dagger on
selling.
Bignum as well in the 3th now, with the level 2 overgrowth.
Oh, that's some sweet stuff. So now they have the Vacuum, War, Overgrowth, Sleight of Fist, OD, Hammer. It all that comes down to whether or not Power Rangers they can turn on the BKBs fast enough, use that Manta style to get out of the Overgrowth. But this game, have you ever seen a late game Ember Spirit versus a late game Gyrocopter?
I have not, at least I don't think I have.
Me
I guess
neither,
Ember
but-
Spirit Rex in the really late game.
Yeah, definitely. If you get some Divine Rapiers, right, and just use a Sleight of Fist, you can just see like those crits, like 2k crits coming out. Wow.
At the moment he still needs a lot more damage though, because Moon, he actually has his Monkey King bar finish, just needs the chicken to bring it out to him. And well, they're going for Roche now, and they should be able to do it pretty fast with the meld armor reduction, as well as Moon just dishing out 250 damage per right click. But, well, with the Blink Dagger on Bignum, they can easily contest this. And Blink Dagger on Darkseer as well. I mean, this might be a disaster if Power Rangers... Oh, Judah goes in. There's the wall. BKB is activated. Telekinesis as well. They didn't get the vacuum. The wall got stolen. Actually, the vacuum came out right in the end of his life. But they're still bursting everybody down. There's the lasso on to Chomi as well. Call down. It will actually connect onto 3 heroes. Is it enough? No. They're not following. They just want to kill off Inquisitor, and Scandal is successful in that. They will get Obi-Wan Banan now. Bignum is on the run, gets the blink out. Chomi, oh, just like it slows him down with Sticky Napalm. It's on 1. Flame Break actually pushes him down, really nicely timed. But the others, they weren't fast enough on following, but still a 1 for free. At the start, I really thought that the vacuum won't even come out by Darkseer. He managed to get it somehow just before his death, but the wall got stolen first of all, and of course the BKBs by Power Rangers.
Oh man, expensive buybacks from OSG once again. It just felt like Bignum, he wasn't ready for Judo's initiation. As soon as Judo went in, he waited for so long before doing the follow-up, and by that time, Judo was already dead. And I'm not sure if it was the right call. That Sleight of Fist did a substantial amount, but I don't know why he's going for the Crystallis now. I would say if you have a Darkseer who can suck everyone into a close vicinity, wouldn't the Battle Fury, in theory, give you a lot more damage? Because the cleave that comes out is actually pure damage.
Maybe his reasoning behind it is that the vacuum, it won't be as effective with 3 BKBs already on Power Rangers. But then again, I think they should just try to go as big as possible at the moment. I mean, I guess the crit with the damage output, but I think they're at the point where they actually have to rely on hitting that combo to actually be able to win a fight. So
Well,
the
then-
cleave from the second Battle Fury definitely could come in handy there.
That brings in another point though. Because if you look at it, Ember Spirit, his job has been split pushing a lot. And that double Battle Fury will help him speed up that farm process a lot more. And sure, this might look like a really late time to have a Quelling Blade, but generally after you get the Battle Fury, you will want a Quelling Blade. It's only a 225 gold investment, but it just makes you cleave that much harder and split push way faster, and it accelerates your farm on towards your next big item.
Yeah, it even helps with the counter pushing with the Sleight of Fist, I guess. Or does it work with the Sleight of Fist even?
Yeah,
Quelling
it
Blade.
definitely does.
So I mean, definitely wouldn't be a bad item like you said. He has the item slots for it at the moment as well, although he might want to get a TP. Then again, he can just always leave a Fire Remnant at base and come back with that.
Yeah, but right now, I guess one Battle Fury is more than enough for him to split push. And also the mana regen, as well as the HP regen that it's provided with 2 Battle Furies is pretty nice as well. But he does already have drums as well as Battle Fury, and I guess he's looking for just those big crits. Well,
Well, will the crits be enough though? I mean, Scandal, 17 armor, pretty tanky. I mean, definitely could be more like Dragon Knight level status of armor, but still 17, it's pretty sizable, 51% damage reduction on that. Gyrocopter also sitting at 23 armor. I mean, the physical damage actually won't even matter that much to them, whereas they will dish out so much in return. Especially as Templar Assassin Scandal, he has a Desolator now.
and if he wants to, he can pretty much buy up a Satanic. If I'm not wrong, the recipe should be on the courier, and indeed it is. So all he needs to do is clear this Ancient stack, and he's gonna have Satanic for the next fight. So do you aim Moon or do you not aim Moon? And do you aim the Wraith King FNG? He's got a Blade Mail.
Well, and he almost has an Assault Cuirass finished soon. If they win like one more team fight, that's gonna be AC and FNG. The Wraith King semi-carry, no problem for them. They just have so much core, so much heroes that Osliki have to be afraid of at this point in time. I mean, this tier 3, it's gonna go down for sure. The Desolator helps out with the extra damage and all. Osliki, they have to go soon if they want to go at all. And Bignam, oh, he gets stunned up! Did he go too far? He's still alive. And FNG, he's just trying to go for it solo. The others just focusing on the racks and the buildings.
They're waiting for Chomi to get a bit more Astral Imprisonments, so that his ulti will actually do a lot of
Oh,
damage.
there's Judo going with the wall, while the BKB is activated. There's the cooldown as well. The Overgrowth actually catches 4. There's the wall coming out as well. But the wall got stolen once again. Judo goes down. They're gonna get Obi-Wan Banana, and they just have too many BKBs and too many items. Inquisitor living armor, he's still alive, but FNG wants to kill him. Solo Inquisitor. Oh god, can he actually survive? Nope, he gets taken out in the end. That's triple kill for Moon. He almost goes down, but he has the Aegis. He doesn't care that much. And are there any buybacks actually? No, there are not, because they already had to spend it in the last team fight. And that's GG Power Rangers. They just had too much of a lead for Osliki to try to contest. And the BKBs, of course, I mean, sure, the vacuum wall is a really strong thing to be afraid of, but the BKBs just help counteract it so well. Or, well, any last words about this game to size it up?
I felt like Power Rangers, they had a clear-cut goal. They knew exactly what they're doing, and they played to their advantage. Their momentum was impeccable. They just went all the way and took out OSG.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with the Batrider Blink. They killed off Chomi in mid lane, and from there on, they were just able to control Osliki's movements a little bit because they had to constantly be afraid of the Batrider. Well, I guess that's it for game number 1. Thank you all for tuning in, but don't go anywhere since game number 2 is just around the corner, where Osliki definitely trying to bounce back against